teaching people about the bees. Here I'm getting honey and beeswax and pollination services for blueberries. So what we got here is some basic tools that I use every day. This is a smoker. The smoker, when I have it lit, helps keep the bees calm and gentle. Whenever bees smell smoke, they think that there's a forest fire, so they'll go gorge with honey and prepare to leave the hive. But we don't smoke them too much, just enough so that they're calm, and then when we're working the bees, they're not stinging us or their minds elsewhere. So I'll go ahead and start lighting my smoker, and I'm just using some wood chips that I got from the pet store. Put a little bit in there. Gotta be careful with the forest fire index too, of course. Give it some air. I'd actually use the propane torch, it's a little quicker. There we go. So the bellows pushes air into the bottom here and lights the embers with a nice thick cool smoke. Then I'll take a piece of burlap and I'll put it over top. It almost acts as a filter, so in case any embers shot out, then it would be trapped by the burlap. What other tool I use, very important, it's a Hive tool. It has a J-hook on it, and this is for prying some frames apart, and I'll show you a bit more about this later. Without this, you can't do any beekeeping. And of course, you see this white suit that I'm wearing. It's a vented jacket. I'm just wearing the jacket, I don't have the pants. And I can put this veil on, and typically bees, if they're angry, they will go for your face rather than anything else. So when we approach a hive, we usually smoke them right here just to kind of let them know. Then we use the Hive tool. See, hear that crack? That's called propolis. There you go. So propolis is like something that they would gather from trees, and it helps them plug up any holes or drafts that they may have to make their hive perfectly airtight for themselves. And I'm just going to smoke them in here, and I'll just leave them for a second, let them get used to the smoke. So you want to go very slow. And what we're seeing here, there's not a lot of honey in this one. All right, so this is a medium honey super, and as I said, there's not a lot of honey in this one. I just started this box. I'll take one frame out real quick just to show you that they are working it and they are bringing in a little bit. This is black foundation. They just started building wax out on here, and all this glossy stuff that you see, that's nectar that they get from the flowers, and they will dry that out with their wings and cap it over, and that's what becomes honey. Now I'll take this honey super off, then we'll get down into what's called the brood chamber, which is this box here, this blue one. That's where the queen's at. So as I pull off the honey box here, what we have here is called the queen excluder. This forces the queen down in this bottom box. Pull them up, I move very slowly. What I'm going to look for here is we're going to try to find the queen. As the queen develops her nest, she'll have brood in the center, pollen right here, honey on the outer edge, and that'll carry forward throughout the whole hive. All right, so I found the queen. She was right in the middle of the nest, just like I thought, but she could be anywhere. If you look right here, you can see this bee here. She got a longer abdomen, and she's going from cell to cell, just checking. They don't like the sunlight as much, so she's playing shy, I guess. And without this bee here, the colony would eventually fail. The queen can lay up to 1,500 eggs a day. This is the brood nest where the queen will lay her eggs. I'm just going to close it all back up here now. Put a rock on it so the raccoons and the wind can't get at it. And that's a full hive inspection right there. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about winter, what happens in the winter time. Try to visualize a basketball, soccer ball. And when you look inside the hive, you see 10 empty frames like this. Typically what happens is the bees will form a cluster, like a ball, and they'll keep warm that way by almost like a great big hug. They'll huddle and they'll keep each other warm by separating their flight muscles from their wings, and they'll vibrate those muscles. And that's what generates heat. In the middle of January, they can maintain hive temperature above 30 degrees. So cold doesn't kill them. It's the condensation from the heat that kills them. So I'm going to show you one that has lots of honey. When they fill that with honey, that can get up to 75 to 100 pounds. All this, that's all capped. Like right there, I'll dig that out there. You can see the honey just oozing out. This is my honey. This is PEIbees.com. I'm a diabetic, ironically, and I'm a beekeeper. I love honey, but at the same time, honey naturally raw right out of the hive. Contains pollen, flecks of wax, and just lots of enzymes and antibiotics, all the good stuff that is very natural and pure. And anyone who has any pollen allergies, the local honey from a beekeeper is probably your best medicine, because it can help build up your tolerance. As you have pollen ingested, it's not in the concentrated volume that you'll have a reaction, but your tolerance level will go up. So that's one reason why local honey from any beekeeper on PEI is going to be beneficial for you.